Dear students, Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Angiosperm Morphology course with the discussion of adventitious roots. We have almost completed the topic and only one more category left as far as the discussion of adventitious roots is concerned, and that is the third and final category, aerial roots. So aerial roots are adventitious roots, AR. So this is our final category in the discussion of adventitious roots. They are known as aerial, and as their name suggests, they are mostly exposed to air, unlike other roots which are found in the ground or partly above or below or underground, or they touch the soil, whatever the case might be. But these roots are entirely exposed to air, and they are mostly meant for, so to say, special functions, that is other than absorption or anchoring the plant in the soil. They are further classified into two types, the aerial roots, and they are clinging or climbing roots. This is category 1 or one kind, and the next one is the so-called absorbing roots. So these are two kinds of aerial roots. Let's discuss the first one, and that is the clinging or the climbing roots. These are found in plants which are known as climbers. They have weak stems which cannot stay erect, and they climb up a support which can be anything, and in most cases it is the tree trunk of another plant, since such plants are found in thick forests and their main objective is to climb up the canopy of the trees so as to get light. So they produce these roots which are known as clinging or climbing roots. The examples of such plants are Ivy, Hedera helix, and Piper betel, also known as betel or betel, whatever you would like to pronounce it, and the long pepper, and also many other climbing plants. One of the common plants in our area is the trumpet vine. Trumpet vine is a Linus Campsis radicans. It belongs to Bignoniaceae family. It blossoms during summer here, producing a globe-like, very beautiful orange-red flowers. So this is also a climber, and it uses its root to climb up a support which in most cases are the walls of the houses, the gardens, and adventitious roots are produced from the stem. So all these plants, they produce short, numerous adventitious roots. So AR for adventitious roots as far as this discussion goes. So we are using this abbreviation for adventitious roots. So they produce short, numerous adventitious roots, and such roots are, as a rule, sensitive to contact. So when they come in contact with support, which in forests is mostly tree trunks of the trees, and in case of houses, like I have just given the example of trumpet vine, it may be a wall, and it even can be a stone, and things like that. So they are sensitive to contact, and whenever they touch a support, they get firmly attached to it. And in this way, it helps the weak stem to climb up. So the main stem, which is climbing upwards, it frequently produces at regular intervals these short, numerous adventitious roots, and since they are very sensitive to touch, sensitive to contact, and whatever they touch or come in contact, they get firmly attached to that support, and in this way the plant climbs upwards. Now there are certain variations in these roots. Some of them, they secrete a sticky fluid just like gum. So this sticky fluid further helps them fastening the plant to any support. Sticky fluid. So some of these roots, they produce or secrete sticky fluid, and it helps fasten the plant to the support. It enables them. And in most cases, these roots, they are not absorptive. They do not absorb anything, that is, they are not meant for absorption of water or minerals, because they are not in contact with the soil, so they are not absorptive in nature. Their main function is to help the plant climb up the support. So as an example, let's draw a diagram. For example, this is the support, a tree trunk of a plant, and here we have and these are the adventitious roots which have been produced by the plant, and this is the climbing stem, and as it goes upwards, it produces further roots. And again, adventitious roots have been given off, and these roots, they firmly attach to the support and help the plant climb upwards. So these are the clinging roots, as in ivy or ivy, Hedera helix. So this was the first kind of aerial roots, the clinging or climbing roots. The second are the absorbing roots. Such roots are found in the thick forests, especially the tropical rainforests. And these roots, these absorbing roots, are found in epiphytes, because these are the plants which grow upon other plants. They don't have their root fixed in the soil to absorb moisture and minerals, so they are epiphytes. They usually grow on other plants, and obviously they are simply epiphytes. They do not get anything from that particular plant or that tree trunk except that they are lying on that particular plant. So they need moisture, and moisture is only available in the atmosphere, because in these tropical rainforests the rainfall is quite frequent and there is plenty of moisture in the air. So what these epiphytes do, that they produce these absorbing roots. Since these plants have no connection with the soil, so they need to absorb moisture from the air to sustain themselves. So they send out or produce these absorbing roots, which are long and spongy in texture, and they hang freely in the air. And what they do, that they absorb moisture. absorb moisture that is present in the air. So from the air. Now, as I just said, that they are spongy in texture, and this is because of the presence of a very special type of spongy tissue which is known as velamen. So this velamen is a spongy tissue which is very good at absorbing moisture in the air. So they get wet, or they absorb that moisture, and which condenses to water droplets, and obviously then it is conducted to the plant body. They are small plants, mostly orchids, and they produce these absorbing roots which hang freely in the air and absorb moisture from the air in the forest. Now these absorbing roots, they are one of them, or one kind of these absorbing roots that we have just seen, found in orchids in thick forests containing this dead velamen spongy tissue. The other kind of absorbing roots are the parasitic roots, or what we call them hastorium or hastoria, from the Greek hastorium, to drink. So they are found in parasitic plants, and one of the common example is Cuscuta reflexa. And Cuscuta is a parasitic angiosperm which grows on other plants like acacia or jujube, Ziziphus jujube. So this is common in our area, found growing on these trees. The plant usually arises or develops from a seed, and then the weak stem, it climbs up the plant and it loses its support beneath. That is, the connection to the soil is lost, and now this particular climbing stem, which spreads on the aerial branches of the trees, this plant, it gives off these parasitic roots. So these parasitic roots, these are adventitious roots, and what these roots do, as their name indicates, that they penetrate the host stem, and after penetrating the host stem, they reach the conducting tissues, and that is xylem and phloem of the host. And obviously you get the idea that what they do when these roots penetrate up to xylem and phloem, that they get what they want: water and minerals from the xylem and food from the phloem. And these roots are absorptive in nature. They also provide support because they fasten the plant or fix the plant to the parasite to the host stem, and help it sending out more branches and colonizing the plant, the host plant. And these roots, apart from giving support to the plant, its parent plant, the parasitic plant, they are absorptive in nature, that they absorb nourishment, water and minerals and food from the host plant. So this almost concludes our discussion of adventitious roots. This was the final category. So we have discussed different root kinds, the taproot, and then the adventitious root, and then the various categories and subtypes or kinds within those categories of the adventitious roots. In the next chapter, we are going to discuss something about the functions of the roots and their modifications. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.